I'm Sci-Fi Bucket, and in this video I will be showing you how I made my shin armour. So there is a couple things to mention. One, this is quite a lengthy video. I will add timestamps so you can skip to the part that you want to watch. The shin pieces I have casted. I'm not going over how I casted them in this video. This video is just showing the post-processing and the painting and weathering. So let's get on with it. So starting things off with the shin, I casted this last night. I have already done one of them. So you see it's still flexible, but I do have some issues with this one not being thick enough. So I did reinforce the inside with some EVA foam, but the issue is that that doesn't stick very well to the foam. So after this one's out of here, I need to put this back in the cast, add another layer of foam on the inside to secure all of the EVA foam strips in, because the contact cement doesn't fully stick to the foam on the inside. But it does hold them in place, so if I add another layer of foam, that should just help strengthen it a little bit better. But it is time to demold this now. So first thing you're going to do is take the shell off. So I need to take all of these screws out the side pieces, and then we'll be able to pull it apart. So with the screws removed, we can then take off the shell. Then we can start to pull it apart. So the next thing I'm going to do is get some talc powder and put it on the outside of the silicone shell. This helps when you're pulling it back along itself so it doesn't stick and it goes smoothly. Right, there we go. Now this one feels a lot stronger than the other one. It's a little bit softer here than what I'd like. This side's fine, that's nice and sturdy. The front's quite good, that feels nice. Back's good. Bottom of here is really good, which is good because that's what goes around the boot. So the next step is to cut it out. I have got the first piece back out of the mould, and adding that extra foam has worked really well. So I'm going to try and attach the knees. Nothing really sticks to the foam. Contact cement sort of works, but not very well. So I'm going to try and attach these with contact cement, just so they hold a little bit. And then on the inside I can then add more of the foam to help seal everything together. I'm going to cut some strips of elastic as well to embed in the foam. That way if the foam does rip for whatever reason, the knee piece is still attached to the shin with some elastic. So I've gotten contact cement and everything, the half of the elastic, to attach it to here, the knees, bottom of the knees, and then the shins. I'm going to wait until it's not tacky anymore, and then should all be able to stick together. Right, so far they have stuck on. It holds, so I'm going to get some more contact cement put on the inside of this for the elastic straps. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm going to do the foam because I need to be able to lift the elastic up and get the foam underneath. The other thing I might do is quickly pull the piece off and put some foam where the contact cement is. But I think I'm just going to try and get the edges with the foam, just so there's as much contact with the foam, because that stuff really sticks well. So this shin and knee was fine, but this one kept lifting off. So you can see I've got some pins holding the elastic in place now. I think I might come back in half an hour or so, do another layer just to make sure there is plenty on so these don't come off, because I don't think the contact cement will do anything. So this is the only thing connecting the knees to the shin. So it is all fully cured, I guess, the foam. The inside, they don't come off. It's actually pretty secure. I didn't add a second layer. It's not going to come off unless you rip it, and even then I think you'll need to rip it, pull at it quite a lot. I've done a test fit with them. I'll put that up now. I am so happy how these have came out, how they look so far. And the best thing about it is that I can kneel in these, which is huge. So that's really good. I don't know if I'll still be able to do it with all the other armour on. I think the thighs will be limiting, so we'll have to see once they're done if I can still kneel, but at the moment I can kneel, which is really big. So it's not too obvious now, but when you start to look closer you can see all these air bubbles. So I need to get all of them filled in. This is the filler I'm going to be using, Flex. I used it on the shins, on the boots, on the knees. I've got a silicone brush I used to apply this. It works really well. What I do is I put some down, and then with the edge, say there's a bit of section here, I'll like push the excess off to try and just get the filler in the hole. Started to sand the shins down. I have done this one, so I'm not trying to remove the filler. All I'm trying to do is smoothen everything out. I don't want to go too rough because it will remove the top layer of foam, show more air bubbles. This one I did start to wet sand on this side here, but it tends to with water just peel the filler away, so I stopped that, worked on the other one. It's dry again, so I'm going to continue to sand this one down. I'm using a 1500 grit sanding sponge. I was using 3000, but that was a bit too high and it wasn't sanding down some of the higher parts of the filler, which there isn't a lot of, but this one sands it down enough, or smooths it out without removing the foam. Well, I don't think. It's a bit difficult to tell when it's like this, but we'll see after I've sanded it and primed it. So with the parts sanded down, I am going to get a layer of seal prime on these. So this is the stuff I'm using, Polyprops Seal Prime. I used it on the forearms and it worked really well. parts have had a couple layers of the sealed prime. They're all fully coated now, enough that I can then get the primer on. This is the primer I will be using, Hex Flex primer. It is a water-based paint, so you can thin it down and apply with an airbrush, but I like it because I can stipple it on and make that texture. I have got some cardboard to put the paint on, to use as a palette, and then I've got some sponges to apply the paint and stipple it. The pieces on the front side are now dry, so I'm going to flip them over and get the back side of it all painted. So that is the back of them covered. I'm going to let this dry and then I think flip it over, do the front side of the knees once more, and then that should be it. So the primer is all dry and it is time for painting. The first thing I'm doing is a silver base coat. I like to use silver rub and buff for this, as it is a flexible paint and it's also a waxy paint, so when I do my other layers later on I can rub the edges off to show the silver underneath. That is one of the shin pieces done. I'm going to do the exact same on the second one. Now the parts are fully coated in the silver, it is time to paint them. For the paint I use MEDEEN heavy body acrylic paint. So the next step is to go along all of the recessed parts, like here, with some black acrylic paint. This is the stuff I'm using. It is just some normal, bog standard black acrylic paint. It's not the heavy body stuff, as this we want to wash away. For the wash itself, it is the exact same black acrylic paint we used previously, just watered down in a spray bottle. Right, so the wash is done. There was a couple bits on the knee parts actually. This one was the first bit. So a lot of it came off. Luckily, because the Flexi primer underneath was white, I've managed to rub away the black to show the white. And I think with just plenty of dirt, that'll look like a bullet mark or something. The other thing you might have seen me doing is using some sandpaper to scratch the edges. This works really well on helmets. This is 320. I usually use 120 grit, but because these parts are a lot softer, I've gone with a slightly higher grit. I've done it here already. You can see the light reflecting the silver edge a bit. So I'm going to do that on the front and pretty much all the edges just to get some slight silver. So I'll quickly show you here. We'll do it along here, just it's, you know, before, and then a quick pass. There we are. So now a bit more came off on the top, but that's fine. But you see, nice line with some silver showing through. So I'm going to do that on all the edges now. So this is them fully weathered. The light's always terrible in here. This might be better. So I've gone over with some more scratches and things. There's a lot more silver now, which looks really good. So the next step is give it all a matte lacquer. The reason I'm doing a lacquer now, this is to protect all of the paint and weathering I did. I'm not doing the pigment now to make it dirty because this lacquer just removes it, but the clear coat I'm going to add later will matte it down fully and it doesn't remove the pigment in. But I've found with that one it doesn't seem to be as strong of a protection as this one is. I know this will protect the paint fully, but I'm not 100% set on the other one, so that's why I'm giving it a coat now, and then I'll give it the 2K matte clear coat after the pigment. Now that the lacquer has dried, it is time to do the pigmenting. So these are the pigment powders I will be using from Vallejo. Now the other thing is in here, this is where I do my pigmenting over. I've sort of got a mixture of both of them colours together, which I really like to use this one. But what I like to do is go with the lighter brown to start with, the darker one, and then I use the custom mixture as I like this colour the best. That is all the pigment done. I'm pretty happy with how they look. They're a bit more dirty. The pigment went on the edges of the front really nice, but it didn't do the back side as well. But you're really going to be looking at this from the front, so that's all that matters. Did these edges here, you can still see the black, but there's a hint of brown in them, which is good. This is the clear coat I'm using. Ultimatt 2K HS clear coat. It worked well for the boots and the forearms. It really mattes it down, even though the pigment does matte these down, but this helps to seal them in a little bit. these are the finished pieces. I am really happy how they've turned out. I think they look really good. I haven't actually tried these on yet, but I will put a video up of me walking around in them. So I don't know what this looks like with the boots yet, but I don't see how they can look bad. So yeah, I do want to do the undersuit for the knee section, but that I don't know when I'll get that done. I want to try and get all the armour done first. If you're wanting to follow along on my new cosplay, make sure to subscribe, as I will be doing more videos for the different armour pieces. If you want to see anything more in particular, let me know in the comments and I will try and focus on that in the next video. So thank you for watching and goodbye.